Today, we're diving into how AI-powered personalized nutrition is quietly becoming one of the most powerful tools for peak mental performance, and how you can start hacking your diet for a sharper, calmer, more resilient brain. Not in a general, one-size-fits-all way, but in a deeply personal way that's unique to your biology, your metabolism, and even your gut microbiome. For decades, we've treated food as fuel for the body, counting calories and macros while ignoring the most energy-demanding organ we have, the brain. But new advances in artificial intelligence are changing that, revealing that what you eat doesn't just affect your waistline, it programs your mental clarity, focus, emotional stability, and cognitive endurance. For a long time, nutrition has been reduced to a numbers game. Calories in, calories out. More protein, fewer carbs. Eat clean, avoid junk, and hope your body, and your brain, cooperate. But the brain doesn't operate on calories alone. It operates on signals. Every bite of food sends chemical instructions that influence neurotransmitters, blood flow, inflammation, glucose stability, and how efficiently your neurons communicate. In other words, food isn't just energy, it's information. This is why two people can eat the same healthy meal and walk away with completely different mental experiences. One feels focused and energized, while the other feels heavy, distracted, or mentally drained. That mental haze we casually call brain fog isn't vague or imaginary. It's often the result of unstable blood sugar, inflammatory food responses, micronutrient gaps, or meals that simply don't align with how a specific brain processes energy. Those afternoon crashes aren't moral failures. They're biological feedback. And once you understand that food is shaping your brain's operating system in real time, nutrition stops being about willpower and starts becoming a cognitive strategy. To understand how this works, we have to go deeper than macronutrients. Your brain runs on chemistry, and that chemistry depends on very specific building blocks. Neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, GABA, and acetylcholine don't just appear when you need them. They're synthesized from amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and fats that must be present in the right balance. Dopamine, which drives motivation and focus, depends heavily on amino acids like tyrosine. Serotonin, which supports mood and stress regulation, begins with tryptophan. Acetylcholine, critical for learning and memory, requires choline, B vitamins, and healthy fats to function properly. If even one of these components is missing or poorly absorbed, your brain adapts by lowering output. Not because you're incapable, but because the raw materials aren't available. A large analysis of nearly 182,000 participants from the University of Warwick found that balanced diets correlate with improved cognitive function and overall brain health, showing that food choices directly impact mental clarity and focus. And then there's the gut. Over 90% of your serotonin is produced in the gut, not the brain. Your microbiome directly influences inflammation, stress hormones, nutrient absorption, and even how your brain responds to food. When the gut-brain axis is disrupted, the effects often show up as anxiety, low mood, mental fatigue, and inconsistent focus. This connection is one of the fastest-growing areas of research in nutritional neuroscience. Research published in Frontiers in Nutrition demonstrates that metabolites from gut microbial breakdown of amino acids can influence neurotransmitter availability in the brain, revealing a biological connection between diet, gut health, and cognition. Artificial intelligence excels at one thing humans struggle with: recognizing complex patterns over time. AI-driven nutrition systems analyze food intake, sleep, glucose response, stress levels, mood, gut markers, and cognitive performance to learn how your brain responds to specific foods and timings. Instead of assuming what should work, the system observes what actually does. Some brains perform best with protein-heavy breakfasts that stabilize dopamine early. Others need strategic carbohydrates to support serotonin and stress regulation. Some people experience sharper focus with fats earlier in the day, while others crash unless fiber intake is prioritized. AI doesn't judge, it learns. This is how personalized food combinations emerge, not based on trends, but on real feedback. Meals are optimized to smooth blood sugar curves, reduce inflammation, and deliver neurotransmitter precursors when your brain needs them most. Timing becomes just as important as content. Certain nutrients enhance alertness earlier in the day, while others support calm and recovery later on. AI models track this rhythm and adapt recommendations as your lifestyle, workload, and stress levels change. The result isn't a rigid plan, it's a living system that evolves with you. So, how does this translate into daily life? Modern AI nutrition platforms make this process surprisingly practical. Most work by combining simple food logging, wearable data, sleep tracking, and self reported focus or mood markers. Over time, patterns emerge that would be nearly impossible to spot manually. The goal isn't perfection, it's trend awareness. That said, this space is still evolving, and it's important to approach it thoughtfully. Data privacy matters, so choosing transparent platforms is essential. Accessibility is improving, but even without wearables, consistent observation can still generate meaningful insight. An AI is not a replacement for medical care. It's an optimization tool, not a diagnostic one. The good news is you don't need advanced technology to start thinking like AI today. Begin by treating food as feedback. Notice how your focus and energy change after meals. Try stabilizing one meal per day with protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Pay attention to when your brain feels sharpest and when it fades. That awareness alone puts you ahead of most people. Looking ahead, the future of food and mental performance is moving fast. Over the next 5 to 10 years, continuous glucose monitors will become common tools for understanding cognitive energy, not just blood sugar. Personalized supplement formulations guided by AI are already being developed, replacing guesswork with precision. Even more advanced is the integration of nutrition with real-time brain performance feedback, where food choices are correlated with attention, stress resilience, and memory in measurable ways. Emerging studies in precision nutrition suggest that tailoring dietary recommendations to individual genetics and metabolism can support healthy brain aging and even reduce cognitive decline. Of course, this raises ethical questions about data ownership and accessibility. But history shows that technology tends to democratize over time, making powerful tools more affordable and widely available. At its best, AI-powered nutrition isn't about optimization for its own sake. It's about clarity. It's about understanding your brain instead of fighting it. And you don't need to wait for the future to begin. The moment you start asking how food affects your focus instead of just your weight, you're already practicing personalized nutrition. This isn't about eating less. It's about eating smarter. It's about fueling cognition, not just calories. If this changed how you think about food, let me know in the comments what you notice first when you start paying attention to how meals affect your focus. Like the video if it helped, subscribe for more science-backed insights, and as always, stay curious, stay consistent, and fuel your brain with intention.